How about we do another not so cold plunge musing while I'm still recovering from this eye surgery? Can't get back into this nice, chilly water. I do miss it in such a strange way. Oh, but these musings are kind of fun, so humor me here. Today's musing is going to be about differentiation. Now, as a student of brands and that sort of thing, differentiating a company's brand was our number one job when I was in the marketing world. And it wasn't to be different for different sake. It was to be true to who that brand or what that persona was, but to be uniquely itself. And it applies to each of us because each of us are unique, created by design unique. That's why our thumbprints prove it. And I was thinking about this with Reebok in particular because 2 weeks ago, or I guess it was just a little over a week ago, I was on the stage with the founder of Reebok for the second time. The first time was a year ago, and I read his book, Shoemaker. Highly recommend this one. I've read Phil Knight's book as well, Shoe Dog. I liked it, but I really loved this one. Maybe because I know Joe now, but I think more importantly, it's because I knew and got to know his heart through this book. He was a natural marketer, and he had to outmarket because he was facing big guns that he couldn't compete against, especially Adidas, depending on where you are, and then Nike, etc. But when he came to the United States with the Reebok brand, they were actually smaller than my son's shoe company, Flux Footwear, is today. Interesting. And it didn't take them long, and they were a $4 billion company. $4 billion. Pretty amazing. But it wasn't by accident. It was because Joe had a great leadership style. He loved his people. He innately understood differentiation. And in this book, again, Shoemaker, I recommend it. He talks about that he would run to white space. What does that mean? Run where everybody else isn't. And so one of the things that just completely meteorically launched them was the whole aerobic shoe thing. And he listened to his front line. He listened to others versus having to think that he was the great man with all the great ideas. And somebody had said, hey, this craze is happening in Los Angeles, etc. And it was on this whole aerobics phase. And he's like, we need to do something with glove leather. Well, glove leather is extremely fragile. You can tear it. It's so thin. But they made these shoes, and they actually kind of fell apart early on. But people loved them because they were comfortable, and they addressed the women's market in particular. They addressed women, and it just blew up. It didn't just happen though. It was because they ran to white space. And so here's where it applies to you and me. Don't run to where the crowd is. Just because influencers are doing this or that, or this is where the cool crowd is. Be yourself and run to an open space. Run to white space. Do something that nobody else is doing, but that's in your heart to do. Be uniquely you. That's my cold plunge, or not so cold plunge musing for today.